Um, Hi guys. I'm a little sick right now, so don't worry about that. If you guys are wondering why it's been taking me so fucking long to make this fucking thing, it's because I was kind of just because I'm trying to look. I'm as a chill. I was literally just procrastinating that, but we're gonna stop that now. And we're gonna make the tutorial. Okay, it's gonna be a little longer until I make part 7 of my other series, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so in the menu, go and click start new game, and then just start a new game in science mode. Okay, don't do sandbox because there's so many things in there you won't know how to use all of it. Okay, so just type in, I don't know, don't type in tutorial, type in like something other than tutorial. Okay, so make sure that enable comm network is on. Okay, you want it to be on. Okay, that's all you want. Anyway, so go back and then press start. Inside of here, you'll see this guy named Gene Kerman that'll basically tell you how to play. But don't worry about him because that's what I'm here for. Anyway, basically, start your first thing called a Mark 1 command pod. Place it. You won't have to like change anything. You'll literally just press and then it'll be there. Alright, so right now you don't have that many things. Right now you have a Mark 1 command pod, a Flea solid rocket fuel booster, basic fin, and you have some mystery goo. You have a EVA jetpack and a personal parachute and a parachute. So, you guys are wondering what all this means? Don't worry about that, because that's what I'm going to tell you guys, okay? So, go ahead and take these, and then click down here where it says cycle symmetry count, and then just press it, and then put it on the side of your Mark 1 command pod like this. Now, basically, what this does is it mirrors it, kind of, to make it so that it appears on both sides. Alright, so right now you don't need the parachute because we're not going to be going off the ground. Alright, but what you do need to look at is the crew. Now, I suggest, since we're not going to be flying this aircraft, just replace it with Bob Kerman, which is a scientist, okay? It's pretty simple. Now, call this Mark 1 because every single time you make an aircraft, that doesn't matter, just name it Mark 1 or Mark 2. And just name it Mark and then whatever, I don't know. You just name it Mark and then a number. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, we got Bob Kerman down here. We're gonna go ahead and press EVA. Now, basically, EVA stands for extravehicular activity. Now, what the fuck is extravehicular activity, you may be wondering? Well, basically, extravehicular activity is like leaving your vehicle. So, yeah, it's basically, if you want to, basically extravehicular activity is like leaving your vehicle, and then, yeah, so basically, the controls, I'm assuming y'all aren't playing on console, but if you are, I'm pretty sure you can go ahead and click on this thing right here, and it'll bring us the KSP media, and then just click on controls, and then that'll be it. Alright, so, that's pretty simple. Don't worry about that. That has nothing to do with this tutorial. Anyway, so go ahead and right click on your kernel and then press EVA report. And this is our first science experiment. It'll say EVA report from Launchpad. I don't think a spacesuit was entirely necessary to get here, was it? Now, don't worry about that. Now you can take a surface sample. And then, it's the same thing. You don't really have to read that, honestly, and no one ever does. Anyway. Go ahead and get inside and press crew report. And then right click on the mystery goo containment unit and observe mystery goo. Now, there is something I want to teach you guys. With these, you cannot reuse them. Like, you can't, well, I mean, you can because I'm a scientist. But generally, if you have nothing but a pilot, you're going to need to Well, actually, you can. Okay, look, you can always reset it, but what you actually want to do is restore it. So, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to keep the experiment, and then you're gonna want to EVA with Bob Kerman, and then you're gonna walk over here, and then you're gonna collect data, and then you're gonna restore it. This is not the same thing as resetting it, because that means that you got the science out of it. Now, you can only do this with scientist kernels, okay? Now, go ahead and click Recover Vessel, and then you'll get your first bit of science that can actually start getting off the ground. Alright, so look, we got 15 science. Now, this is not much science at all, so you're only going to be able to get a few of these. So go ahead and get Basic Rocketry, and get Engineering 101. That's literally all you can get, because we didn't do much. If you just stay on the ground, then you're not going to be getting much science. Okay, so just remember that. You usually want to get off the ground. Now, for our next thing, I want to teach you guys about thrust. Okay, so basically, thrust is how much speed something is lifting you off the ground. And thrust to weight ratio, which is TWR, is the ratio between the weights and thrust. So basically, all you have to know is that if your thrust to weight ratio is under 1, you are not getting off the ground. Okay? I don't really have an analogy for that, but basically all you have to know is that you should keep your thrust to weight ratio between 1 and 2. Don't go above 2, and don't go below 1. It's simple, okay? But as you guys can see here, it's 7.10. So that's a lot, okay? And we don't need that much, and we aren't even getting that high off the ground. So what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to take one of these. Actually, do we have? Oh, yeah, we do. So take this TD12 decoupler, and you may be wondering, what the fuck does a TD12 decoupler do? And basically what a TD12 decoupler does is it decouples the thing. It decouples the rest of the spacecraft from the capsule. So basically, once you decouple it, the rest of the spacecraft will not be with the capsule. It's pretty simple. I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm pretty sure y'all can understand that. Now go ahead and put down like this many of those, and then put down the swivel liquid fuel rocket engine, whatever the fuck. And you'll see this number down here. Now what the fuck is this? Now as you guys can see, we have a pretty high thrust to weight ratio, and that's not good. But so what you guys can do is you can just put down more fuel tanks. And then put down more fuel tanks. Until it's below 2. So this is what it's going to look like. You might think, oh, this is definitely going to be a bit heavy. Now, as you can see, it's 8 tons. And that sounds heavy because it is, but it's not heavy. Relative, and that's going to be a big word, because if you guys don't know what relativity is, well, basically what relativity is it's how much something is compared to something else. So like, let's say, if Bob has 2 cookies, and the rest of his family has 0 cookies, Bob is like a god, right? But if Bob has 2 cookies, and the cookie guy has 18 cookies, then the cookie guy is like a god, and Bob fucking sucks. That's what relativity is. Anyway, you're going to want to take the basic fin, make sure that's on snap, and then you're going to click this. Actually, 1, 2, 3. You're going to click that 3 times until you see these 4 pizza slices on the side. Now, I'm not your science teacher, but that kind of does look like pizza, so don't come after me, okay? Anyway, so you see the fins? That's good. Now, why do we have fins? Well, fins are like stability. It makes it so that you don't you don't plummet into the ground and then so you don't die. But basically, in order to know if you actually plummet into the ground and you don't die, is you want to press this thing called center of mass overlay and this thing called aerodynamic overlay. And all you have to know is if the aerodynamic overlay is below the center of mass overlay, then that is good. You've succeeded. And it is, so don't worry about it. Now, I'm pretty sure that this can get us into space, so we're gonna do that. So go ahead and add this plus thing. Anybody wondering what the fuck the plus thing does? And it basically just adds a stage. Now, what is staging? Staging is like what comes first and what comes last. The highest number comes first and the lowest number comes last. It's pretty simple. Anyway, what is the number here? That is called delta V. It's this thing. Now, what is delta V? Well, delta V is a number that basically determines how much speed your aircraft can achieve maximum. Okay? Now, this is a bit weird because for half of this, we're probably going to be spending it inside of the vacuum. So if this was always in the vacuum, we would actually have 3,000 delta V, which is a lot. But we're not for most of it, so we're not. Anyway, don't worry about that. All you have to worry about is science. So make sure that you put the science in. So maybe you're wondering what the fuck this is. It's called a too hot thermometer, and it's basically a thermometer. Like, I don't know. It's like it takes thermo readings. I don't fucking know. It basically just it's a thermometer. It's a fucking thermometer. Y'all know what a thermometer is, right? Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and save that and launch. Now, this thing is pretty fucking big, so y'all can take a screenshot and send it to your friends and tell them how good of a rocket scientist you are. But obviously, we all know that that's not true. So, I'm kidding, guys. Y'all are all fucking awesome. Now, you're gonna want to press space. Now, before you press space, I want to declare what exactly space does. So, space ignites the staging. So, whatever is set with the highest number on your staging will happen. So make sure that the highest number on your staging does not have your parachute on it. You want to make sure that your parachute is on 0, so that nothing comes after it, and nothing comes while it's also running. Okay? Just make sure of that. Okay? Now, let's go. Make sure that you press Z, so that you're actually getting off the ground. Now, Bob Kerman is really liking this, so go ahead and do this and press crew report. And then make sure that you don't press EVA because you might die. Alright, now do the mystery goo and start tilting by pressing D, okay? So that you don't just, you want to tilt, okay? So just, yeah, do that and just enjoy it. Now, press maneuver mode, and then you'll be in here. So, as you guys can see, there's two numbers. You got the apoapsis and the periapsis. If the periapsis is below 0, then you're going to be crashing into the ground. So if we were to stop burning, we'd be crashing into the ground. And you may be wondering why there's fire here. That doesn't really matter unless you're re-entering the atmosphere. And since we're going out of the atmosphere, we're fine. Okay? So make sure that you're going tilting, but not too much, okay? Now, we are overheating a little bit, so that's not good, guys. Whatever. Just continue. All that matters is that your capsule doesn't explode. That was a bit of a fucking mess up here on my end, but since that didn't happen to you, hopefully it's fine. Okay, so don't worry about that. That was a little mishap. All right, but I have to compensate, so I have to do the mystery goo things again. So, since your guys' things didn't explode. You aren't gonna have to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and save my game so that I don't have to do a little bit of a James Bond move. So go ahead, don't do this. Actually, I'm not gonna tell you guys how to do it because you're not supposed to. But if that did happen to you, then go ahead and just restore it, and then take the data so that you can do it again. Now, wait until you're above 60 kilometers, and then do another bit of science. Now, why? This is because you're in the upper atmosphere. You're not in space yet, but you're in the upper atmosphere. So do that. Make sure that you do it between 70. Because if it gets to 70, then you're in space. Anyway. Now, our periapsis is still in the ground, so we are still going to crash into the ground, which is not good. Anyway, EVA report, since you're high enough in the atmosphere that it won't, like, do anything, right? And then just go back in. And then do another crew report. And I fucked it up. That's fine. Hopefully y'all didn't fuck up. Anyway, now that you're in space, you can do something called, cool. So go ahead and get off your capsule and turn on RCS. And now that you're in space, this doesn't matter. So you can just play around with the jetpack. So just have fun with that. It's honestly a really fun thing to do in this game. Mess around with the jetpack. That's like my favorite thing to do. Anyway, so you can run out of jetpack fuel, so make sure that you get in and you don't spend too much time out, or else you could get stranded. And then after you're stranded, you're gonna fall back into the earth, and then you're gonna fucking die when you re-enter the atmosphere. Because even though you aren't, anyway, click on here on the abwapsis and add maneuver, and then skill prograde. And we don't have enough fuel, so don't worry about that actually. Anyway. So we're gonna be crashing directly back into the fucking hell, bro. So go ahead and select SAS and click on this thing that says retrograde and has like the arrow on it. And then this is exactly this will make your capsule point in the exact opposite direction as where you're heading, right? Prograde is the opposite, where it points directly where you're heading. It's pretty simple. Now these other ones aren't very simple, like normal, but don't worry about normal, okay? Normal's weird. You don't have to worry about normal, okay? So don't worry about it. And these two, you have to be selected on a target, and don't worry about targets either, okay? We aren't in that phase yet, okay? I'm just telling you guys how to get into orbit for the first episode. Now, you see, now that we're in space, we're now not in space, and I didn't do any fucking science, so I'm gonna go ahead and load my save because I was rambling on too fucking much, okay? Oh yeah, now you can hit my science. Go ahead, EVA. Anyway, so I'm just gonna cut that part out because I didn't do any fucking science. Now that you're in the space, go ahead, EVA, and press EVA report. And then you'll get EVA report from space just above Kermit's water. And go ahead. Oh yeah, since my mystery goo exploded, use your other mystery goo. So go ahead, remove that data, restore it, and observe mystery goo. Okay? And then this will give you a lot more sciencey. So as you can see, we're getting like 8 per thing. Now, click that. I'm just gonna see if I can get up into the other atmosphere. What do you mean? Can I put my data at store experiments? Oh my fucking god. Okay, fine. Alright, so that's weird. That didn't work at all. I'm just gonna go up. Don't really worry about that, guys. Don't worry about what I'm doing, okay? Unless I say to worry about what I'm doing, because I don't think this is gonna work, honestly. Yeah, guys, it didn't work, so don't worry about what I was doing, okay? Anyway, now that we have no more space science stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and do some jetpack adventures like I did last time. Hey, maybe you're wondering why my altitude is still going up. Wait, what? Where's my fucking capsule at? What the fuck? Get over here, bro. How did they get that far away from me, bro? I was gone for like 2 seconds. What the fuck? Ah! Oh my god. What? Yeah, so don't make sure that doesn't happen to you guys. So, as you guys can see, our altitude is starting to hit a plateau. Now, if you guys don't know what a plateau is, get the fuck off my channel. I'm kidding, guys. So basically, a plateau is a big part of land that is flat. Okay? But obviously, that's not the kind of plateau that y'all are talking about. So basically, this plateau is basically an altitude that goes flat. Okay? It's pretty simple. It doesn't continue going up. It's like a curve. It's like, you know, like a curve? This is a curve. You guys see this? A curve, okay? So basically, all curves have a top, and all curves have a plateau. The plateau is the apoapsis. This is between when it starts going up and when it starts going down. It's pretty simple. Anyway, we hit the plateau, aka the apoapsis. Alright? Anyway, make sure that you guys did the science. I'm gonna do the science because I don't think it really works, honestly. So, yeah, okay, so that worked. And bullshit, okay. I don't really know what that guy's talking about, but I'm recording right now, so don't worry about that. Now, go ahead and restore that. Sorry, restore this, the fuck? Alright, go back in. I didn't fucking do any science! Bro! Okay, log temperature. Alright, anyway. We're going back in. Sorry about that guy. I'm just pissed. Now, we're gonna go back. So, since there's literally nothing we can do about going back, just press this button. And then press space again. So yeah, now you're heading back into the ground. Now you can go ahead, hold E, but don't hold it for too long. It's just kind of fun to do that. I don't really suggest doing it, but it's kind of fun. So make sure that you quick save before doing it, so that you don't die, you know, so save game. Anyway. We're going to be landing back, so just speed up time. Now, go ahead and watch your fireworks show as your other thing begins to explode. Look. Look over there, guys. Look over there. Look at that. Mark 1 debris. Okay, so it seems that we're overheating a little bit, so just spin out. Yep, we're fine. Anyway, so that didn't explode for some reason. Probably because we weren't going fast enough. So go ahead, press space. It doesn't really matter if you're still going fast because it's called physics time warp, so everything goes with it. Anyway. So as y'all can see, it took 10 fucking minutes to do this entire mission, which I don't think is very accurate, but don't worry about that. Now keep on time warping until you hit the ground. And if you guys have a fear of oceans, yeah, this is kind of scary. No, I do have a fear of oceans, but only if I'm in the middle of the ocean and I can't see anything for miles. And I'm pretty sure that's a pretty worldwide fear. Okay? So go ahead and press recover vessel, and then you'll get science from that. So, 71 science earned. Nice. That was a big chunk of science. So go ahead and get general rocketry, but oh wait, actually no, get survivability because it gives us the barometer, and then get general rocketry because sometimes we don't know if we can afford stuff. All right. Since we can't afford any of this, just get stability. Honestly, gives you the radial decouplers, and those are very good. Now, go ahead, click on the VAB, aka the vehicle assembly building that we've been talking about before, and go ahead, press the Mark 1 command pod. Now, basically, I suggest naming this the Mark 2, because why did we name the other one the Mark 1? Because I forgot that this one, fuck, save, Mark 1, we accidentally changed Mark 1, so we don't have to worry about that other one because we don't like the other one. I don't even know why I saved the other one. Anyway, so go ahead, add a decoupler, and now we have the other decoupler called the radial decoupler, and it basically just radially decouples things. This game is very fucking, this game is very, just as it talks, it's very self-explanatory, okay? Now, go ahead and just put all these down. But I suggest stopping around here to put down a swivel. Now, why are we doing this so soon? That's because this is going to be almost always inside of space. So, you guys are wondering why we have so much delta V? That's because we fucking succeeded, okay? But we do have a lot of thrust to weight ratio, so that's a lot. So we're going to get rid of a little bit of that, okay? But we can do that just by taking the thrust limiter and pulling it down, because I'm too lazy to add more fuel tanks, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Alright, doesn't actually change how much delta V we have, because we already have plenty. Alright, so go ahead and turn that down until you have like 1.3 or something like that. I'll just settle with 1.44. Anyway, go ahead and get rid of this, and then just take this, put that on there, and then just start putting more of these on here, okay? So this is a double stage system. Now you may be wondering, why are we doing this? Now we're doing this because you can see here, we only put one stage on here and it's already 2,000 fucking delta V. This is why double stage systems or triple stage systems are so good, because they can just allow you to do this stuff. Anyway, so put down your swivel engine, and as you guys can see, it's a lot less delta V. Now that's okay, because we can add something called a booster. Now boosters are very useful because they can basically compensate for everything, okay? Because they're on the side. Yeah, go ahead, add this video. Put that on the top, and then put the Reliant engine instead. Alright, now you may be thinking, what the fuck is the difference between these two? And honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing. Alright, so the difference is, that's weird. Huh. So the difference is basically, the Reliant engines, have more thrust and are more powerful, but they don't have a gimbal. And if you're wondering what a gimbal is, it's basically just it can turn, basically. It's pretty simple. It just helps you turn. Now, I'm pretty sure we have enough delta V to get into orbit. But just in case, I'm going to add a little bit more boosters. And now we have... Okay, why is it not telling me how much fucking delta V I have? Oh, yeah, that's because we decouple all of them. Okay, yeah, make sure your staging is right before you diagnose anything. Anyway, now as you guys can see, we have 2,156 delta V. Now, if we get rid of that and replace it with double symmetry, hold on. Get rid of this. Get rid of the staging. Hold on. If you get rid of that and add double symmetry, you see we have that much. So we actually do have more delta V if we do this. But as you guys can see here, this decoupling actually gives us delta V, and you may be wondering why. Well, basically, it gives us delta V because it alleviates some weight. All right, it always alleviates this amount of weight unless you add more weight. Okay. So it looks like we only have 2,156 delta V, but we actually have whatever amount. Okay, hold on. I have a calculator, so I'm just gonna add these two together. So we actually have 2,000. Wait, actually, I think we might be in vacuum. No? Wow, that's actually good. All right, so we actually have 2,156 plus 408 delta V, which is 2,564, which is a lot. Okay, and adding that onto this, and since most of this is going to be in space, this is actually more close to 3,000 delta V. So we definitely have enough to get into orbit. So don't worry, guys. We're fine. Now, go ahead and add our bunch of our new science. Add our mystery goo. Add to our thermometer and add our pressure barometer. Nice. Now, this looks very fucking cool. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So, send your friends a screenshot. I'm kidding, guys. They actually don't care. I'm being honest with y'all. Anyway, go ahead and add this thing called a heat shield. Heat shield basically shields your capsule from the heat. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll only tell you what it means if it's not self-explanatory. Okay. I'll do that from now because I'm pretty sure y'all can already guess what it does. Okay. Now I don't know if there's anything that we haven't talked about yet. Now, SRBs are fucking stupid. They're almost always worse than anything you could get out of liquid fuel. Now you may be wondering what the fuck an SRB is. It's basically just solid fuel. In solid fuel, you can't turn it on or off, and it's usually really delta V. It doesn't have much delta V at all, and it usually it's usually just worse in pretty much every way. So don't use solid fuel rocket boosters. I don't really know a reason why you would ever want to. Anyway, make sure that your staging is correct. It seems to be right, but go ahead and make these two on a separate one because, you know, yeah. Anyway. Oh wow, this is 30 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna make this have cuts or not. Anyway, go ahead and launch. Is it, yeah. Now, I didn't add any fins, so that's not good. So, I honestly just realized that. So, that's not good. I'm not going to restart unless we have issues, okay? So, once you reach about 50 meters a second, start tilting. Yeah, we have issues. Revert flight to VAB. So, make sure that you add fins, okay? I forgot. I totally forgot. I'm sorry about that, guys. Now, I suggest using this kind of system. So, put 4 on the boosters, right? So that's, if you go into here, that should be enough. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so go ahead and add some more wings, okay? So go ahead and add 4 on here. And now you have enough, okay? So, actually, that was the first where we add 4, and we actually don't have enough. So that's cool. That's Google. So maybe 4 sometimes isn't enough. So always check. Okay, always check if it's actually enough. But also another thing that I completely forgot about because I am fucking stupid is struts, because as you can see it was wobbling a lot, and since oh my god, I'm fucking screaming, bro. I'm sorry, I can't tell because I'm sick as shit. Anyway, go to structure. Oh, actually we don't have them. Never mind, guys. That sucks. Don't worry about that. Now, what you're gonna want to do is just, you know, they're still gonna be wobbling, but that's okay, guys. Honestly, the wobbling doesn't really matter. Go ahead and launch. And I didn't really check our thrust to weight ratio, but that's okay. Go ahead and start turning. Oh shit. Not good, guys. I don't know what this is about. Well, I'm just gonna cut it. Now, usually cutting it isn't good, but since we're already out of the atmosphere, honestly, I think we're fine. So, this is really bad because I wasn't able to turn a lot, but I think we might still be able to make this work. Go ahead, add a prograde marker here, and we should be able to get inside of reasonable orbit. Now, this is really bad. This is a really bad. God damn. So, look at your burn time there. It's 1 minute and 20 seconds. Take that and divide it by 2. And don't do math, guys, because math sucks, okay? So if you guys want to know how to divide numbers that are okay, just take 60 and then add however many seconds. So 60 plus 21, that's how many it is in seconds. So that equals 81. Okay, and then just divide that by 2, and then that's how many seconds it takes, which is 40 and a half. So just 40. Just get rid of the half. Round it up or down. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, now, wait until you reach 40 seconds and then start burning. But make sure that you selected maneuver, okay? So that's the exact direction that you need to be at, okay? Yeah, it's pretty simple. Now, these white lines are basically where you stage. So just remember that, alright? Alright, so now we have an orbit, and we still have 1,000 meters a second left. So we are still very good, okay? So yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know what that is. I'm kind of worried about that. It seems to be getting farther, so we don't have to worry about it. Now, we aren't really higher up or anything, so honestly, I don't really think it was really worth it getting here, but that's okay. We can stay in here for as long as we want now. Like, look, if we speed up time, we aren't going into the ground. That's because the periapsis isn't below 0. And I just want to let you guys know that if it's above 0, but it's below 70 kilometers, then you're still bad. Because that means you're going to be going into the atmosphere. It's because of atmospheric drag, which is basically the atmosphere dragging on you. It's going to, like, pull you down, and then, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, so I suggest trying to land in the ocean, but always overshoot it by a shit ton. So you see, I'm in the land right now, but there's ocean all the way over there. So we're gonna go ahead and overshoot it by a shit ton, okay? So go ahead and start burning retrograde. Start burning retrograde like this. Burn while you're on the retrograde marker, basically, and overshoot it a shit ton, okay? We're trying to land here, which I like calling it the Indian Ocean, because, be honest with me here, it kind of looks like the Indian Ocean. Look, it looks like the Indian Ocean. I'm gonna be honest. It really does. I mean, I don't know what this is, like, at all, because there's not anything like this in the Indian Ocean. As you guys can see, Africa is all the way over here, but this looks like the Indian Ocean. So I'm calling this the Indian Ocean. Okay? Anyway, go ahead and do this. Now, we are going very fast. And definitely a lot faster than before, because we need to be going very fast to get into orbit in the first place. Now, I'm not really sure. You guys can see the moon there. It's actually a place you can go. You can go to the moon. It's pretty cool, but we're not going to be doing that until like 2 more episodes, because we're going to go to a different celestial object. It's pretty cool. All right, so go ahead and I think this is fine. We're going to go ahead and quick save. Remember to quick save, because I don't know if this is exactly correct, and then just stage. Okay, so we still have a lot more delta V there, but that's okay. Okay. So go ahead and go into the ground. Oh, shit! Always remember to do your science. I forgot to do my science. Now, don't do these, because we've already done those, okay? This is important, though, because we haven't done this before, and barometers give you a lot of science, okay? So always remember to do your barometers. And now that we've taken the data, we have 2 more, which can basically stock us up. So, now that we're going very fast, just repeat time warp until you get a down, okay? So, now that we're going, okay, make sure that you have SAS on retrograde so that you don't die. And just keep on time warping. So as you guys can see, we are going into the ocean. Now, if you aim directly for the ocean, we probably wouldn't have made it. So make sure that you guys do that. So go ahead and spin, because it's better that you spin while you're re-entering than to not spin, okay? Because if you don't spin, then, I mean, it's sometimes it's okay to not spin if you have like a payload cart, but as you guys can see, we were fine, okay? So just spin a little bit, you don't have to spin too much, but if you spin, then there's a lower chance of your science being destroyed. Okay, so now that we're in the atmosphere, go ahead and do your barometer again. I didn't really do it in the upper atmosphere, but that's okay. Pull your parachute going into the ground. Go ahead and jettison. I like to jettison my heat shield, so go ahead and jettison it, and you'll watch it as it plummets down into the ground. And now you guys can see as we slowly make our way down into the ground. Now you may be wondering what this is. It's just a mod. Now mods, it's just a visual mod. It doesn't actually change anything inside the game. If you want it, go ahead and watch Matt Loudy's video on how to get mods, okay? Because I'm not going to teach you guys that unless you guys want me to. Anyway, recover vessel. And you'll get not that much science because we only did the barometer thing, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Orbit is not much different than getting into space, but it is good for the whole thought of it, you know? And anyway, we can afford something new this time, and I suggest getting advanced rocketry because it unlocks the Terrier engine, okay? So the interior engine is very, very, very useful, okay? It allows you to get to much more important places. And now that we've gotten inside of orbit, I like to call the episode to done, okay? Because I don't want to go to Minmus, man.